Our first topic will be scholarly communication in the open science framework, the Diamond Open Access Model. And the speaker is Suzanne Dumouchel. Did I say that right? Suzanne, are you there?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Perfect, wonderful. Great, Suzanne. I'm going to introduce you as all the speakers in a moment. I just wanted to ask real quick, where are you sitting right now? Not office or building, but what city are you in?
Paris.
In Paris?
Yeah.
Bonjour, wonderful. A great city to work in.
Indeed.
Excellent. So I'd like to give a quick introduction before we begin. Suzanne is a research engineer at the CNRS, which is the French National Center for Scientific Research. She works in the Huma-Num unit, an infrastructure for digital humanities, where she leads the European project GOTriple, which aims to develop a platform for data discovery, research projects, and researchers in SSH, with which various innovative services are associated. And I did check real quick, SSH, just for those that don't know, it is known as Secure Socket Shell. Maybe she can give us,
no.
Oh, you nodding, is that, did I see wrong? What is that? What is SSH?
It's Social Science and Humanities.
Oh, then I apologize. As a journalist, I had the wrong research on that. Okay, but you can tell us a little bit more about that too, and I apologize for that, but thank you for correcting me. And that's a network protocol that gives users, particularly system administrators, a secure way to access a computer over an unsecured network. Today, she will discuss the action plan for Diamond Open Access developed by Science Europe, Coalition S, OPERAS, and the French National Research Agency. The goal of the action plan is to further develop and expand a sustainable, community-driven Diamond Open Access scholarly communication ecosystem. So with that, Suzanne, as I said, for your talk, if you want, you have a few more minutes, up to 25 minutes is fine. And then after that, we'll start with our Q&A session. So with that, even though we're at home or in our offices, I'd like to warmly welcome Suzanne to our digital stage. The floor is yours, please.
Thank you very much, David. Thank you for the introductions. I will now share my screen. Yeah, is it okay? Can you see it? Yeah.
It looks good. I want to make sure a technical person, you can certainly let us know if there's any issues. Just go ahead and put your microphone on. Go ahead, Suzanne.
Okay, thank you. So good morning, everyone. I'm very pleased to be there. I'm Suzanne Dumouchel. I'm coordinator of OPERAS ISBL, a research infrastructure dedicated to open scholarly communication in the field of social science and humanities. I'm very pleased to be there. I'd like to thank the organizations committee for the invitation, but also for the support they provided. So I expected to talk before about open scholarly communication in a data world, but some recent development on open publishing made me change my mind, and especially the publication of the Diamond Open Access Plan. So this is why today I will focus more on publishers and open access. So let's start with a very brief kind of history of state of the art, how we move from open access to open scholarly communication. So it's already a quite long history, more than 20 years since the Budapest Open Access Initiative published in 2001. And then we had two other kind of statement or declaration in 2003, the Bethesda Statement on Open Access Publishing and the Berlin Declaration on Open Access to Knowledge in the Science and Humanities. So there has been a shift from open access, which was more about giving access to researchers to the publication without paying too much fee or sometimes no fee at all, to open scholarly communication. Because now the focus is much larger than only bringing access. It's also paying attention to multiculturalism practices, to multilingualism, to understand better the sustainability issue when you have an open access journals, what kind of common standards can be useful for the publishers. So this is how, thanks to the needs for a better access for the researchers and the multiplication of communication formats online for scientific publication, we move to from open access to open scholarly communication. So as we focus usually on data and metadata, when we speak about open science, we shouldn't forget that metadata work came from the editorial workflow and the publishing librarians' activities. So this is how the open scholarly communication enter into a kind of data world that we have today. So actually, the main experience we have on data comes from publishing practices. The concept of open science itself emerged first from the open access movement for publication. So from this need and the development of digital technology, another conception of science has arisen, which became the open science, which now should become again the new normal. And I'm quoting here, I guess you all know that, one of the three main objectives of the European Commission for Open Science and the EOSC, so it was written in the EOSC partnership in 2021. So how open science becomes the new normal. So some quick facts on the open scholarly communication situation. So OSC here stands for Open Scholarly Communication. So I took the number that you can see on this slide from a recent study published at the very beginning of 2022, made by Michael Laxo and Anna Maya Multas, on a publication about the European scholarly journals from small and mid-sized publishers in terms of open access. What is interesting here is to notice first that the high number of small and medium-sized publishers in Europe is not to be neglected. 16,000, more than 16,000 journals are already publishing in open access, are existing, and 36% are already publishing in open access. Secondly, publishers can focus on a single journals. 77% of all publishers publish only one journal. Why? Because more often the publishers are also researchers, and it's even the contrary. Researchers can also become or are also publishers. And the third point is that these journals are very close to a specific community in terms of discipline or topic, but also in terms of language. And this is why what you can see in the third point, small and medium publishers are much more multilingual or non-English rather than bigger ones. So what does it mean actually? It means that the scientific publishing domain is very, very fragmented. It's not at all English, and it's still made by researchers who are not always trained in this domain in the publishing activities. And these specificities that I very quickly presented to you are also shared by a specific scientific community, even if it's not the only one, but it's the social sciences and humanities community. Because the social science and humanities community is a very fragmented community. We are fragmented because in disciplines, social science and humanities, it's very broad. We have 27 scientific disciplines part of this domain. The fragmentation is often linked to national, regional context and language, which brings us to the multilingualism aspect. There is a fragmentation of the source and data in different types, formats, language, disciplines. You know that we can use publication, but there are also maps, figures, schemas, and so on. So there is a need to scarce the visibility and the reuse, and the fragmentation in small and smart data, which should properly be qualified, described, managed, and curated. So this kind of fragmentation that I present about social science and humanities is partly linked to the fragmentation we have just seen regarding the open access publishers. And this is actually how we move to OPRA's research infrastructure. Actually, what I've just described is really the raison d'être of OPRA's. So the research infrastructure has been built in this context to support open scholarly communication and position open publishing for social science and humanities. We are a legal entity since 2019, which has the mission to coordinate and federate resources in Europe to efficiently address the scholarly communication needs of European researchers in the field of SSH. And the vision of OPRA's is to make open science a reality for research in the social science and humanities and achieve a scholarly communication system where knowledge produced in the SSH benefits researchers, academics, students, and more generally, the whole society across Europe and worldwide. So currently we have more than 50 members in Europe and abroad from 17 countries. And it's an association led by an executive assembly made by 10 organizations in Europe. And we address a wide variety of stakeholders, researchers, librarians, publishers mainly, that are gathered in OPRA's special interest group. So what I will present now is the two kinds of activities, or let's say services, that we offer in OPRAS to support the publisher in their open access development. So first we have the OPRA special interest group. So 7 special interest group: advocacy, best practices, common standards and fair principles, multilingualism, open access business model, platform and services, tools, research and development. So these special interest group, or SIG, are there to coordinate the community. Each member of OPRAS is part of at least one SIG to contribute to the development of the research infrastructure activities. But more than that, the SIG are very specific to the OPRAS focus and oriented towards the activities of the publishers, how to support the open access publishers in the development of their journals by bringing tools regarding how to address multilingualism, what kind of business model they can find to support their journals activities, what kind of platform and services do they need, the kind of best practices they can share all together with the specific focus on the social science and humanities. So this brings us to the second part of what OPRAS does for open access publishers, the development of our services, the catalog of services. So some of them are already online and can be used. Some are still under development. I would like to insist mainly on the certification service here, which provides a single access point to the list of certified peer-reviewed monographs available in open access, but also to the metrics service, which collects usage and impact metrics related to open access monographs from many different sources, and on the publishing service portal, which collects the publishing and scholarly communication services that OPRAS members offer in OPRAS and gives access to their description from a single access portal. The two other services, the discovery service, I will present it in a minute, a bit more in detail, as it can be a very powerful tool to answer to some challenge for open access publishers. And the research for society service is a bit aside, as it's more a service help to design, which is supposed to design a collaborative platform between SSH researcher and socio-economic actors. Actually, it's much more a citizen science services than the other, which are more focused for the publishers, to the publishers. So the GOTriple Platform, actually the GOTriple Platform is the discovery service of OPRAS. It is currently under development thanks to the Triple project. The platform focuses on 3 main kinds of resources: publication and data on one side, profiles of researcher on the other side, and research project as a third side. It focuses on subject-specific and multilingual diversity, and it enables researchers to identify not only data, but also scientists and projects in the European research area across subjects and language boundaries. So this is something which is quite important here, is the role, the hard work that has been done in terms of alignment of the vocabularies in the 27 vocabularies, because we have 27 disciplines in the SSH domain, and the alignment of all this vocabulary in the 9 languages that you can see here, the German, Greek, English, French, Italian, Croatian, Polish, Portuguese, and Spanish language that are represented into this platform. So that means that each time you are searching for a keyword in your own language, you can find the publication and the result in other language because thanks to the alignment of the vocabularies. So you can see here that it can be a very powerful tool for the open access publishers in order to make their journals much more visible and their publication much more visible for the researcher in Europe. So for the publisher's point of view, this platform brings visibility and it contributes to the indexation of the content. It also contributes to the fair publication, also by developing training for publishers to have better metadata quality. So thanks to this OPRAS Discovery Service, we try to solve the indexation and visibility challenge of open access publishers and to bring support to them thanks to the standardization of metadata, thanks to the triple vocabulary. So this is now the end of the first part of my talk to present the engagement of OPRAS towards open science and especially open scholarly communication. However, OPRAS has now engaged itself in a much broader activity on a specific open access model, the Diamond one, which is not only focused on social science and humanities, but on all the kind of scientific domain that we have. So the Diamond model actually is today the Graal for open access publishers. It's another way to conceive the access to science. And I will start by presenting what are the Diamond journals? What is the kind of Diamond open access model? So you know that there are in the open access typology, we have the green access and we have several steps towards the Diamond journal, Diamond access, which is the one with the much more possibility for the publishers, but also for the researchers. So Diamond Open Access refers to a scholarly publication model in which journals and platforms do not charge fees to either authors or readers. This is why it can be seen as the Graal for open access publishers. Diamond Open Access journals represent community-driven, academic-led, and owned publishing initiatives. Serving a fine-grained variety of generally small-scale, multilingual, and multicultural scholarly communities, these journals and platforms embody the concept of bibliodiversity. So commissioned by the Coalition S, we had a consortium of 10 organizations, amongst them OPRAS, which undertook a large-scale study on open access Diamond journals. You have at the bottom of the slide the main finding and recommendation, the link to the finding and recommendation from the Diamond study, which has been made from the, let's say, mid-2020 to beginning of 2021. And the main challenge that have been seen from the studies are sustainability and funding, skills and competencies, peer review management, indexation and visibility, editorial workflow, and dissemination. So this brings us to the Diamond Action Plan prepared by the ANR, the Coalition S, OPRAS, and Science Europe. So the Diamond Action Plan presents a set of priority action to further develop and expand the sustainable community-driven Diamond scholarly communication ecosystem. So I will present now very quickly the 4 points that compose the Diamond Open Access Plan. First, the efficiency. So the Diamond Open Access currently represents an archipelago of relatively isolated journals and platforms, and they would benefit from sharing common resources. This is why we propose under this efficiency point some following action to increase the efficiency and economies of scale, such as flexibly align quality standards and create sustainability, make technical services and operation more accessible and interoperable and streamlined, and building synergies between the Diamond journals and platform in the same discipline, geographical location, or language via a network of existing organizations. Then we have the second point, the quality standards. Indeed, the Diamond Open Access journals and platforms have different practices to ensure quality standards rooted in historical, cultural, and disciplinary diversity. So this is why we have now this kind of following action to solve or to contribute to solve the quality standard issue for Diamond Open Access journals and platforms. So first, by aligning the existing standards and best practices for open access publishing that are already developed in different organizations. specify these quality standards for 7 core components of scholarly publishing that you can see here, the 7 points that are on the slide, and develop a self-assessment tool to assess the quality standard for Diamond journals to assist progress towards meeting the international framework from Diamond publishing. I'm sorry, I'm a bit quick as I don't know exactly how much time I have, so I'm trying to be quicker, and I will be able to give more detail for the Q&A session.
I'm just going to jump in for a moment. You still have about 7 or 8 minutes, so take a breath.
Okay,
no problem.
So I can make. Okay, yeah, thank you.
That's fine, no problem. Go ahead. Very interesting. Please continue. And I'll give you a 2-minute warning. No worries.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So the third point of this Diamond Open Access plan is the capacity building. Indeed, the Diamond Open Access journals and platform differ in terms of editorial and management skills. So to build capacity, this action plan proposes to consecutively undertake some following action: building capacity through the creation of a tool suite for Diamond academic publishing, mainly via organizing training materials, engaging with all stakeholders in Diamond Open Access, researcher, research funding organization, research performing organization, university libraries, university presses, and so on. Reaching out to scholars with a targeted communication strategy about Diamond Open Access publishing, and creating, I think this is the main point of the Diamond Open Access plan, but it has to be done with all the others, creating a dedicated non-profit capacity center for Diamond publishing within 30 months. So here we have a kind of target in order to solve this issue, but to provide technical, financial, and training services and resources at different levels. And the governance of this capacity center must be transparent and representative of the stakeholders community. And the last point is about the sustainability. It's kind of a usual point that we have when each time we discuss about managing the data or publication in our open science perspective. So it's not very new, as I guess you can imagine. Although Diamond Open Access journals and platforms indeed are scholar-owned and scholar-led, their legal statutes and governance is often unspecified. Moreover, their revenue streams often depend on a patchwork of in-kind contribution, funding by various types of institutions, and temporary grant money. So we need to improve this sustainability in order to support the Diamond Open Access publishing ecosystem. And for that, we developed several following actions, which are here, you can see on the slide. First, to develop a framework to ensure that the ownership and the governance of the Diamond Open Access journals, titles, and platform is legally recognized. This is the first point to be done. Then promote responsible and transparent financial administrative practices to inform journal managers, institution funders of revenue, expenses, and financial sustainability. So it's really the transparent aspect in the sustainability, to reach sustainability. Promote more balanced distribution of financial support between different forms of open access scholarly publishing, as well as more transparent monitoring of the result. And strive to ensure that the full range of operational costs of Diamond publishing is carried by a network of institutions. And lastly, develop the capacity center for Diamond publishing that I've just mentioned before in the previous point about capacity building. So these 4 points, efficiency, quality standards, capacity building, sustainability, constitute the Diamond Open Access plan. So yet we have more than 40 organizations in the world that endorse this plan that you can see here on the slide. And of course, new organizations are much welcome to join and to support this plan in order to facilitate the development of open access, Diamond Open Access publishing. So what is interesting here is to see that there has been a big evolution from open access to open scholarly communication model. The open access gives birth to open science, and thanks to the development of digital technology, time is now to bring support to publishers that are academics. And here I'd like to insist on that, that are very often academics in order to improve the quality of research at large. So actually, by supporting the Diamond publishers, OPRA's infrastructure contributes to its main mission, supporting the open access movement, but it's also a way to facilitate the move from other open access models, the green one, for instance, to the Diamond one. And this is why we expect by supporting and developing the Diamond open access model. So you have on this slide the link to the Diamond Open Access Plan if you want to have a deeper look. And I'd like to acknowledge the authors of this plan, and especially Pierre Mounier, as I reused some of his figures presented at the OSEC conference in my presentation. And I'm ready for questions. Thank you very much.
And thank you very much, Susanna. Yeah, really a very, very interesting discussion dealing with the Diamond Access model. And as well, it was very interesting to see that you have over 40 supporting organizations there. And I did take a look at the slide. You also have the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. I've done some work with them in the past, so that's fantastic. If people do want to bring in organizations, what's the best way? We should just have the organizations contact you, or are you going out and recruiting those organizations?
Yeah, actually, there is on the website, if you see on Zenodo the publication of the Diamond Open Access Plan, you have the link to contact. It's mainly coordinated by Science Europe in order to endorse the plan, and you can endorse it online.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much. Continue success with that. Good. We're going to move on now to our Q&A, our question and answer session. And I've already heard that we have over 3 questions that are waiting. And again, since this is our first time doing this, hopefully technically everything will work out okay. But just a quick review, if you do still have questions before we begin, we can put up real quick that the URL for the QR code. I'd like to put that up there one more time, just as a review. Feel free anytime, as you've just done, to put in any kind of questions for our discussions. And we also have in the Zoom room a Q&A tool. And with that, I'd like to move forward to our next question, our first question here. And if I understand correctly, what will happen is the question will be blended in so that I can see it, read it, and Susanna will have a chance to answer it. Let me see here. Okay, I do see that there. I'm going to see if I can see it on my screen. Give me one moment. This is just so that I can see it larger. I've got the gallery view. No, I see it here small. One more moment. Speaker view.
I can see it.
Okay, you can see it. Good. Then yeah. I tell you what, if you can see it, do me the favor then. Could you go ahead and read the question and go ahead and have it?
Yeah, of course.
Go ahead.
So the question I can see is which institutions are already participating in OPRAS from Germany? Because the slide one was not clear enough. Are there any fees for the participation? So there are several ways to be a member of OPRAS. So in Germany, we have the core member. So the member who is part of the Executive Assembly is the Max Weber Stiftung, based in Bonn. But we have several other organizations in Germany, and maybe I can mention the other main one, which is the Göttingen University. And I'm sorry, I don't have in mind all the other ones, but you can have the full list on the OPRAS website. And regarding the fee, if you are an ordinary member, it's completely free. You just actually, not completely. It's you have to give a kind of in-kind. That means 10% of FTE to be part of a special interest group and to join the OPRAS activities. And if you are a co-member, so member of the Executive Assembly to develop the strategy of OPRAS, then there is a fee of 5,000 euros per year, plus a commitment to have 20% of FTE to develop, to be part of OPRAS activities. And there is currently only one core member per country to manage also the organization of OPRAS at the national level. I hope it answered to the questions.
Very good, thank you. Again, I'm working on 1 or 2 of the technical issues because I would love to ask you the questions yourself. But until then, let's see if you can see on your side the next question. We'll see if we can blend that in. And just so that everyone knows, I do see it, but I have a gallery view with a very, very small print, so I can't read it even with my glasses. So Susanna, I'll let you read the question and go ahead and try to answer that, please.
Yeah, sure. So the second question is, are you intending to also include other disciplines in OPRAS? And that's a question we always have, actually, from very different kind of people, funders, researchers, and so on. And the answer is no for the moment. Because we don't know the other community, so it would be, it wouldn't be fair to say that we can address other scientific domain. So this is why we are focused on social science and humanities, but we are working with other kind of organization in other kind of scientific domain in order to contribute to address the challenge for open access publishers.
Super, thank you very much. I think now I have solved my technical issue here. Do we have another, and we have two or three teams coming in with questions and putting it up, so excuse me for any difficulties there. I'd like to ask, do we have any other questions? I have my split screen now here, and I see one in the chat, so let me go ahead and read that. And that is, what is the difference between diamond and platinum ONA, open access, please?
What is the
difference between diamond and platinum open access?
Platinum, yeah. The difference. So actually, it's very unclear, to be honest. It's much more in terms of sustainability, but in both cases, there is no fee for the researcher and the author, sorry. But it's much more in terms of engagement. In the platinum, there is a kind of in-kind contribution, and I think it depends on the journals. So this is much more on this, this kind of difference.
Okay, thank you very much, Susanna. And I just heard we do have one further question, and we certainly still have 2 or 3 minutes. If anyone else out there would like to send us a question, please go ahead. We'll see the question here. I have it first here. Okay. So, how would you position operas within the context of the EOSC, and the EOSC being the European Open Science Cloud, please?
Yeah. So actually, OPRAS is a European research infrastructure dedicated to open scholarly communication, not all open science. And OPRAS is a member of the European Open Science Cloud Association first. And all the services that we are developing or that already exist are or will be part of the EOSC catalog. So this is how we position OPRAS in this more general context.
Very good, thank you. And I just heard we have one last question that just came in. We'll see if that can come up or if I get it in my chat room. Here we go. So Susanna, how are you working with institutions to promote the services to researchers?
Oh, that's a very good question. So we have actually several ways to work with institutions. First, through the special interest group at first, because it's in the special interest group, members of OPRAS work and develop the services, and then they can inform their own organization about what is going on regarding OPRAS. We have also the national node. This is, I would say, the main tool for OPRAS to promote our services. So each executive assembly member represent the national community of OPRAS and is in charge of managing and developing the activity of OPRAS on the national level. So there are several workshops and events organized in each country to make the promotion of the services. And we are also developing training activities about the different services that we provide. And I think that's it. I hope I don't forget something.
Okay, merci beaucoup. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David. Thank you very much.
I wanted to check with you real quick. We have all our speakers coming in later today at our Speakers Corner. Just a reminder then, we'll be seeing you. It's at 2:15 here in German time, Central European time. You'll be joining us. Is that correct?
Yeah, sure. I will be there.
Fantastic. And that'll be a chance then just to our participants, you'll have a chance to directly speak with our speakers, the 4 speakers today, and have intimate questions or answers or discussions with them. So we're looking forward to seeing you later today. I would say then, even though it's only virtually, we'd like to give you a round of applause for your presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you also for my technical team for sending me some messages. It's always exciting to work with a new team, new systems, new languages, but so far, so good.